for us. So ask everybody to stand and then
Mayor.
turn over. Oh, sorry.
Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, hold. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, post the state flag. Please join me in the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance. Scout salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard, return the colors. Color guard, return to ranks. Color guard, hold. About face. Color guard, dismissed.
Please be seated. Roll call, please.
Covert.
Here.
Crowner.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Lees.
Here.
Young.
Trying. Technology.
While we're waiting on our technology, I was going to have the boys do this anyway. So, Scouts, I would like you to come up and form a line over here. And I'd like you to come by and meet each of the city council members and just say hello to them and say who you are, okay? So form your line over there, and you can just kind of walk through this direction over here.
You've already met me.
Ringo.
Thanks for what you guys
Thank
do.
you. You guys did a good job.
John Johnson.
Cayenne, huh? How's that? Ringo. All right. What grade are you in now?
Kyle.
Six?
Cayenne.
Nice meeting you.
What grade are you?
Thank you very much for being here. all right?
6? Good to meet you.
Good job.
Good job.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming. Thank you for coming.
Uh-huh. I turned off the sound.
I think that's success.
Hey, hello everyone.
Here we go.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Mel.
We're on roll call right now. It's your turn.
You present finally?
Hi, I'm here.
All right. I'll move on then with the next item. I need an approval for the agenda, so I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Our consent agenda has 4 items on it. I would entertain a motion to approve that consent agenda.
Motion approved is presented.
Motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed?
Hi.
Motion carries. We'll go into our staff and council reports, so, Greg, are you?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to start out with a couple things. In front of you, I grabbed a few extras of these from the chamber office from the meeting the other night. They're on your desk. You got something that looks like this as well. This is just an updated capital spreadsheet that I've been working on, both for the urban renewal plan, budget, and TIF-GO bond, just for your information. So perusing it, it's been updated as well. And then this is just a little piece on a couple things I gathered today, just for your information on biocells and retention. Just informational pieces for you. So let's see, Highway 61 corridor meeting was held, and then we had a follow-up meeting this week, and they'll be putting together a schedule, trying to determine final recommendations based on input and schedule, and when best to bring it forward to DOT as well. We had some subsequent discussions about potential connector. Can't think of the name of the road, but off of Roosevelt, that would connect up off of Pennington, whether that be pedestrian or road, but very preliminary discussions. So,
Now, all this will depend upon the state financing, right?
yes, and there could be any number of ways that they proceed. They'll be asking for to get on the DOT capital improvement plan. There could be DOT participation. It could be local participation. It could be staged in any number of ways. I mean, there's a lot of work to do on this yet. This is still very preliminary. Just participated and added about 2 cents worth to the conversation. So, regional significant projects is something that the regional planning does every year. I noted in my last update that I submitted those main projects that we've been pushing forward for outside funding to make sure that all of our projects were included in their list along with descriptions, so they have that information as well, and some updated information to go along with that. Mount Pleasant Street was not in there. Stormwater was not in there, but the force main was, and maybe it was stormwater that was in there, and let's see, one other project I included in my list to the last update. I mentioned the projects that you have. Attended the board meeting this week for the chamber and did a presentation on our efforts in the community with prairies, micro prairies, and Packline Park, and answered any questions that came up for that. So enjoyed that. Been working with Chris Graham for a downtown walk around. Chris connected us up on a phone call with the IEDA Downtown Resource Center, and they'll come to town, and traditionally it's downtowns that they review, and take a look at the downtown, meet with stakeholders, community, put some recommendations together yet that day, come back, have a further discussion, and then come back with a written report. They're willing to expand that a little bit if they come down to perhaps the area over by the mall and to see what the suggestions they might be able to have with their knowledge base that they have. So kind of give us two for one when they come down, likely in April. That'll be going on. So we're moving forward with that. Chamber dinner, I have Andy +1, Greg +1, and Ringo. Let me know if you're interested in that as well. Public officials reception is December 2nd at the Arts Center at 5 o'clock. Encourage you to attend. That's staff and elected officials as well. And the annual dinner was on January 23rd, if you were looking for that date. And let's see here. One other item of note, just from a scheduling perspective, December 24th falls on a Wednesday and the 25th on a Thursday. In the past, we've swapped out Wednesday, Thursday for Thursday, Friday, and that's our plan this year, unless there's any objections to do that with staff. Be open on the 24th rather than the 26th. So, a couple updates from the building department. Just 2 new permits issued this week for siding and parking lot improvements. Several nuisance notices, 4 of them were mailed out, and follow up on current nuisance that was outstanding. Abatement was completed for a sidewalk repair that had been outstanding for quite a while, and he has been working on the building and fire codes to bring forward for council consideration as well. Chase is at an educational class this week. Just taking a look on here to see if there's anything major real quick. Crossover for the campground at the truck stop has been poured, and entrances into the park have also been completed. 4 seasons have started dirt work as well. Getting ready for winter. Cole signed up to take his grade 2 in water treatment. Snyder is putting together plans for the Pat Klein Park water main project as well. They have completed sewer jetting throughout town, and they have been utilizing the camera as well to do further inspections. We are having trouble connecting with that firm that we discussed doing the lining project with. He was hoping to connect up with them in Des Moines at his class as well. New backhoe has showed up, and they've been training on that as well. And that's about it for there. One last item. I sent it out earlier, but encourage you to take a look at it and read it. The article that was in the Gazette, Governor Kim Reynolds on taxes and TIF and doing services differently. So I'd encourage you to take a look at that article on some of the legislation that's coming forward this session. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Justin?
I'd like to add one thing. The Mall Ring Road was finished, and that's awfully nice to drive on too. So, one thing. Got 2 things. West Burlington Fire Department will be participating in the Toys for Tot on Friday, December 5th. They are going to, with the lack of foot traffic at the mall and donations have been down, they're going to try Hy-Vee this year, setting a semi-love up at the Hy-Vee parking lot. But we're still going to help them shop. They still come over to Walmart and do the shopping over here, and we'll be out helping them for that. And then on Saturday, December 13th, we'll do our shop with a cop. We start over at Black Hawk Elementary. We'll have 2 or 3 third graders from West Burnley participating with all the other county third graders, Burlington, Danville, Mediapolis. We start off over at Black Hawk, and then we'll make a tour through town and end at Walmart and shop with the kids there. I've got 3 officers that will be participating in that. So it's a fun event. Officer Covert, Ringo here, started that program with Matt Rinker. I think this is the 13th or 14th year that we've done it. So it's a good project and it's fun and we have a lot of good time with the kids.
Thank you. Kelly, anything from you?
We have a coffee and conversation event still, our last one of the year, December 4th. And we have it listed, do that at the mall in the food court, 8 to 10 a.m. And then we will have our elected officials open house to recognize our elected officials this year and the ones that are coming on board, along with the volunteers on some of our boards and commissions. And we're going to do that before the council meeting on the 17th of December, so from 4 to 6.
Thank you. Brad, I understand you have something.
Yeah, I actually have something today. I got a quote back today for VMware, which essentially runs our entire underlying infrastructure. And we budgeted $8,000 because that's what we usually pay for it. And this year they want $26,472.32. I'm going to do my best to make that go away. It's going to involve me changing our entire underlying infrastructure, but I'm going to try to make it happen before this comes up due.
Brad, when you're saying make it go away, you're anticipating, based on the work you're going to be doing, all $26,000?
So what I'm going to be doing, yes, is changing us from VMware to a different provider.
Closer to the 8,000, you think?
Well, it actually, so what I'm going to deploy is called Hyper-V. It comes with the data center that I'm about to purchase anyway. So I figure if it's good enough to run the cloud, Azure, it's probably good enough to run WB. So I just, this needs to go away. That's too much money, I feel, for us.
So the $8,000 that was annually that we normally paid out that you took care of, that won't exist then?
Yeah, that won't exist anymore after I get it changed out.
So you're saving the city at least minimum $8,000 plus the
Yes, eventually. I will have to this year get System Center so I can convert the VM. So there will be a little cost, but yes, in the future that'll go away.
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate your efforts at doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
And that's all I have.
Okay.
Council reports. Melanie, do you have anything from your position there?
Yeah, a couple quick things. One, I attended the public input session last week, and I was in favor of the Highway 61 roundabout. Some of the designs included those, and those look good for us, and also the emphasis on sidewalks, so pedestrian traffic, which were, I think, two areas that the public and we felt were important. Third thing is Ring Road feedback. It's awful nice to drive on the smooth road, but a question I have, and maybe it's changed since we've been out of town, but will there be road markings like white lines and center lines added to that, or has that occurred already?
Yes, we'll get the painting done.
Okay, that's still forthcoming then. Thank
Yes.
you. Second thing, I do plan to attend the public officials meeting on December 2nd. Looking forward to that. And Jesse, a question. How's it feel to be fully staffed with all your law enforcement officers?
It's going well. We've been actually pretty busy the last few weeks, but it's going well. I'm happy.
I'm glad you're happy, and I've enjoyed the post from with your some of your staff. It seems fun to see it on Facebook and presenting a positive image for our law enforcement, public safety. So it looks good. And then finally, I'll let you know, Kelly, on attending the coffee and conversation on December 4th at the mall. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Therese?
Still working with Kelly on getting our legacy award up and running.
Okay.
With my other two cohorts that was supposed to be in on this with me. It seems like I'm doing the legwork, but that's okay. I'll share it with you. We're critiquing it.
Greg, I'm assuming that on the road issue, that we have a small section where there's still quite a few potholes just to turn onto our new asphalt, and I wondered if that's just going to be patched before winter.
That'd have to be, a cold batch. I don't, like it usually is, or, well, no, I guess not usually. It's our road now. But we'll take care of it like we do with our other roads.
John?
I don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Andy?
I had a couple people reach out about our trick or treat and just said how nice everything was out here and they felt safe. Jesse, we had several police officers driving around, and it's obvious. I had 500 and some people by my house, and a lot of them were not West Burlington people. So it's great to have a community where people feel safe to come to and go door to door like that. So thank you for your work that night. I was also going to ask if we could move up the 12:17 meeting an hour, but it doesn't sound like that's going to be a possibility. So we've got our Remax Christmas party that night. So I may be here early and have to duck out. But
Why can't we move it up?
I mean, that's,
Is there a reason we can't move it up?
we're gonna have that open house.
Oh.
right. So
We could do the open house, we could do the open house earlier, I guess.
it's all right. I'll figure it out. If we're doing that beforehand, I don't want to step on that.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I'll duck out when I need to. So that's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Open house.
I've got two things, Your Honor. Well, I'm hoping I'm a little windy on this, but last week was our Veterans Day, and it was a great day, and I want to thank the area restaurants for their service by providing free meals and free coffee. I mean, it's throughout the whole day, and it was totally awesome. Myself and my family, we went to Applebee's, and it was just packed full of veterans, and the staff there was just awesome. I did learn, though, after we left, and I just want to remind our veterans and myself that when it's a privilege that these private organizations do this for us and private individuals, because after I left, I found out to an individual who was a veteran, who didn't find himself a veteran, was sort of rude to the staff, but the staff was so awesome that they just went through it and did their thing, and I just want to compliment them for how they handled the situation. And just remember, as veterans, that when people do this for us, it's not it's not a right, it's a privilege, and it's an honor to receive that type of thing. And then this other thing that I would like to talk to is like a sort of like a public service announcement. Even my drill sergeant did not prepare me for this 45 years ago. I call it the old man insurance, but most people call it Medicare. This is that annual renewal. And I just want to alert the folks that are into this now. This is my first year I turned 65 and receiving it. Just bombarded by phone calls, with the supplement. And then you can tell there's some that that they're scammers. And I'm able to filter, you're able to filter like through it, because of the question stuff like that. When I was your guys' age, I had no thought in that near or long future I would ever have to be alerted about that. But I know there's folks that are even older than I am that would be successful at receiving it. So they've got to be prepared for it. This got to, self-defense. And I know that Chief Logan does do things for folks that they'll talk to him about how the scams are done. Please take them up on this if out there in the public, because the police department will help you and guide you on it. I don't like it, and it's distasteful, but I just thought maybe alert people to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I might add to that I got 52 of them the other day, and that happened for 3 days in a row. I'm down to about 45 now.
Down 45. It's just incredible.
Crazy.
And you can tell when people actually trying to get your personal information. They're not there to assist you. They're there to take your money. And I feel bad that folks have to go through this every year. They have to do this, and I'm one of those now.
It keeps you on your toes, Ringo.
You're right, Ringo.
Well, you look so much younger than I do, and I never think you guys had
It's
this
the
problem.
color. It's the hair color.
Now, the only thing that I have to say on this is that our scouts out here are going to listen to the next section, which, since I probably don't have any citizen inquiries at this point or old business, will go directly into our new business. The scouts are supposed to listen to what we discuss on these 7 items here on our agenda. And once we're done, they pick one of the ones, or they can pick it ahead of time, and then they'll decide whether or not they would agree with the council or not with the council. And that's what they'll be writing down on their papers that they brought with them. So they're working on citizenship and the community merit badge, and it's one of those required merit badges if they're going to go ahead and become an Eagle Scout. So it's fairly important for them. So we'll go on to our first item here. Consider entering into a professional services agreement with Hidden Prairie Engineering to provide engineering services and grant development services for the trailhead retention, or bio-retention, project.
Motion to approve.
Support?
Motion and support. Discussion on this item?
Support.
So this is a new
I
item.
will say I'm excited that this will include a diversity and a consideration for how we can properly use take care of water in our community. I'm hoping maybe one of the scouts jump on board with this because there's a real opportunity, I think, here to both beautify our community, welcome people to our community, and responsibly deal with water as it flows in our community.
Okay.
So this is a recent opportunity. Jesse and I have been talking about how, the engineer that did the ring road had been talking about the parking and the trailhead and some grading and issues. And of course, we've been talking about putting in pipe and dirt down in there as well. But long-term plan and designs call for more of a bio-retention cell, and there's some information there for you, and plantings, native planting, et cetera. And there is water quality dollars that are out there, and the individual in charge has been on leave. It's a state position, but it's funded federally, and these applications, or the pre-apps, are due on the 21st, so it seemed like an excellent opportunity for us to get some grant fundings to do that right, get it in there and get it done. And got a couple other ideas for some supplemental grant funds as well, and then we can shape that that project as we move forward. But ask Jesse to kind of jump on that and so that we can get it in on the 21st, and then we continue to move forward, and we'll have more information. He's got some preliminary information in there as well. Just explain what it is, but it's an excellent opportunity to get some grant funds and do it right the first time. So,
In case anyone out in the audience, we're talking about the park that's on that sign over by the thermostat and so forth. That's the trailhead park there. And it does have a really deep area that needs, well, we're going to fill it in somewhat so that it'll still drain, but it'll be less of a deep ditch when we're done with it. Any other discussion? If not, then I'll call for, this is an agreement. I should be able to do a voice vote, shouldn't I? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 2, consider entering into an agreement with Iowa State University Extension Community Economic Development for providing the Rural Housing Readiness Assessment Program.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support.
Support.
Discussion on this item?
this is the housing grant that we received. We spend 10, we received 20 to institute a program or project at the end of the program. The Housing Steering Committee is in place and ready to go. And we have an orientation first week in December, I believe. And that will kick that off, and looking forward to bringing these programs together. We'll tie that in, talk to Mike today as well with his presentation as well. He'll certainly be involved in that process, and we'll be able to bring back some programs and recommendations and use the grant funds to implement a program or project. So looking forward to it.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, and all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Number 3, consider a resolution authorizing the sale of surplus computer equipment on govdeals.com.
Motion to approve.
Motion support. Brad?
I just want to put these up on Gov Deals and see if somebody maybe wants them, so we don't have to pay to recycle them. I think that'd be the better option.
We're not shipping them, are we?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
It's going to be somebody local that wants to pick them up. I mean, honestly, if I can't sell them, I might come back here and ask you if I can give them away free on Gov Deals. And because either way, because otherwise we pay, it's per pound at the recycling place. So if somebody else can use them, that'd be great.
How many is there?
I don't remember how many are on there. I'll have a couple more when I'm done. There's a laptop, one laptop, and several desktops. I think, what, 7 or 8?
8.
8. But
Any further?
And how can we bid on it? By,
you can go on to Gov Deals tomorrow is when I'll publish them. I have them ready to go. And then it can be bid on at the Gov Deals website. So
what would an ordinary citizen be able to do with our used laptops and stuff?
well, it'd be more of somebody who likes to refurbish them for people, or maybe use them for parts, that sort of thing. I wouldn't recommend, because they don't come with a hard drive, so somebody's gonna have to throw a hard drive in them. But somebody who's at a place may throw a hard drive in there and throw an operating system on it and sell it. So.
thank you.
Okay. I call for a roll call vote.
Crowner.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Covert.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll go to number 4. Consider license plate reading cameras and software for the police department.
Make a motion.
Okay. Support?
Support.
Support, thank you.
It's just a discussion item for tonight. It's a system that, it's flock safety. Burlington has approximately, I think, 10 cameras that are in use. And it's something that you guys talked to me about last budget year about getting this, in our city. I got a little PowerPoint presentation that I will go into here, but 4 cameras would allow us to get into Burlington's system too. If they allow us, they can set perimeters, and I can do the same thing for them, and they can get in there, and it helps with investigations is what it's for. Burlington did use that. They were able to track a murder suspect leaving the city limits of Burlington, and they were able to locate the person in Illinois using their camera systems also. So that's a kind of a national thing that kind of helps with local things here. So it's a very good system. Just a couple things here. 24/7 coverage. It will alert the officers that are working that if they have a stolen motor vehicle that crosses the license plate reader, it'll notify the officer in real time. Any suspect information that we may have, like there may be a group of people out stealing catalytic converters or whatever. We may have a vehicle description. We can put that vehicle description into the camera system. So if we say it's a 2015 Dodge pickup that has a ladder rack in the back of it, it'll be able to identify that and pull those out of that system and tell us that this car went by at 3 a.m. and let us know that it was eastbound on Mount Pleasant Street. It just depends where we have the cameras at.
Hey, Jesse, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Melanie, can you see the slides okay?
Yeah, I can, thank you.
Okay, yep. All right, go ahead, Jesse, sorry.
So Jesse, would that be lifetime too?
What?
Would that be lifetime too?
Yes.
The identification?
The identification marks. We could put, people have stickers in the back of their windows, anything like that's identified that way.
So this is based on an AI type thing, isn't it?
Yes, yep. It's vehicle fingerprint, so they're looking at vehicle make, body type, the color, any back racks that are on there, top racks, and then, of course, license plate recognizes, state recognizes, so it could be Illinois, it could be Nebraska, Missouri. We were able to, about a month ago, Schottenkirk was broken into, and then there was another dealership up in the Des Moines area, and they were able to use the cameras down in Kansas City that able to track, and we were able to recover some vehicles down in Kansas City, and the 2 vehicles that were stolen at Schottenkirk were relocated down in Kansas City. It's what it is it's a license plate recognition, alerts police of wanted vehicles. What it does not is it's not facial recognition, so it does not recognize the drivers. It does not collect any biometric or sensitive information. It's not used for tracking speed. It's not used for parking violations. And data automatically deletes every 30 days unless we get in there and pull the data off of the hard drive or off the cloud. And if we need it for investigations. So it's not out, it can't track speed, parking violations, it doesn't do any of that. We're just looking at vehicles and helping solve crimes.
Chief, on the plate registration though, if somebody's wanted for murder, which if they own the vehicle, we'll recognize that for
Yes.
you.
Yep.
Alert you, then you have that person in there. Jesse doesn't do anything with like running of red lights or
Nope,
anything?
no traffic violations, no red lights, no speeding, nothing like that. It's just recognizing the back of the vehicle.
So Jesse, how long will it be inside the computer before it's deleted?
30 days.
30 days?
Yep.
So when Harley Davidson got broke into a couple years ago, and they were tracked down through, and when I think they ended up over in Illinois, this could have been something, because I think they came through West Burlington. if I
Yeah.
remember right.
Yep. We also had a bicyclist hit out on 406 a couple years ago. A juvenile male was hit on a bicycle out there. We just weren't, I mean, it just depends where you have them placed, but it could, it could help us out.
Jesse, did I read that there's a 30-day trial or something like that?
That is part of the, yes, I can get in that in just a minute. Footage is owned by the city. Police department will never be sold to private third parties by Flock. That's very big information out there about privacy. 30-day retention takes human bias out of crime solving, and all data is stored securely with end-to-end encryption of all data that's stored. Security is number one. They're very, they kept going around to that all the time, and I was, when myself and Sergeant Melson was talking to them about it, is security is, that's our number one goal, is keeping things safe. We have a program already here at West Burlington, out at the City Works for the camera that we have at City Works that faces the leaf drop-off. That system can also get downloaded into this system too, so that we're able to use that information, that camera already. Private organizations, Lowe's in Burlington has the Flock system also, so all that data that people going into Lowe's parking lot, law enforcement could use that. So there is a local company here that I'm looking at. Hopefully we can get them to buy a couple cameras also for their parking lot.
Is that the reason for the placement? Because I'm wondering why there's not one at Broadway and Agency.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. They handle all storage,
Flock Safety handles all storage.
and on the agreement, there was like 3 different annual prices. Is it one of those? Is it all 3 of those?
It is, the top end of it would be, the first year would be the more expensive one, because they have to come in and put the poles. If we don't have, it can be placed on city poles if able, but when I had them quoted out, it was saying that that they had to install everything, but when we take them around town and show them where we want it, we should be able to use, city poles on some of them, so it'll knock the cost down a little bit. And then, so the first year would be $16,100 at the maximum, and then every year after that would be the $13,000.
Oh, I read this wrong. Where'd this standard range LPR 3,000 per year?
That would be, yeah, that would be each year for each camera that we have.
Each camera.
Yeah.
Do we have any stats from Burlington's on, how many people have been found because of their system?
Yeah, I will talk with them about that to get an updated one, and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Yep.
Jesse, is it 30 or 60 days? I thought it was 60 days when we talked about it.
It's 60 days.
60 days. So, and at the end of the 60 days, it's, we decide we don't want the system, there's no obligation to the city.
The only reason I brought this up as a discussion is we can go ahead and do the 60 days. They would come out and get it installed this year because that promo's through this year. And then this would be a budgeted item that we can discuss. And if you guys approve it in the budget, then they would turn the cameras back on July 1st. If it's something that we decide we don't want, it's not working out, they would come and remove the cameras, and then we would try to find something else.
I'm trying to think also in during the investigation, spent a lot of man hours trying to find information to develop, to identify suspects, and then you spend a lot of fuel, a lot of hours there, and that's a cost to the city. Whereas something like this, if you had several incidents over the year, and not just, you are saving money then, and then not only that, but your victims, it's satisfying to a victim to know you can come to a conclusion, identifying the suspect, and able to apprehend that person. You can't put a value of money on that, but to me, it's a good investment. And you were talking about earlier, Andy, is like, if we have our community feels safe, this makes our community safer, people will be here more, and I think that's a pro. And then we're working with the city of Burlington, and we're sharing information with them, and like we always do. But this is just another area that, Greg, that you can put on your hat there. That in the police department, that we're working with them, that we're able hopefully to solve things quick, and become a quick ending on some of these on criminal activity.
Jesse, how long is the agreement? Like, is it a 1-year agreement, 3-year agreement?
The first one would be the first year, and then we'd have the second year, but we pay it annually, and then it just comes up on an annually basis that if it's not working out, if it's not meeting our expectations or whatever, then we can write in and terminate the agreement. They come and get the equipment. If the equipment breaks, it's part of the agreement. They come in and replace it. If a pole gets ran over on a traffic accident, they are responsible to come and fix it. So.
Is there any way that you can get what the cost was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, so we can kind of have an idea of what they expect going forward?
I will ask that question, yes.
Do you remember the camera when, John, remember this has been about 4 or 5 months ago, you were asking about a camera, just one camera set up, and how much, and that did not even do this. And how much was that?
It was, I believe it was around $8,000.
Just for that one camera.
Yeah.
And it did not have this capability.
So it's just a discussion item. If you guys want to go ahead and try the program, I'll get it with them, get it installed, you know, have them get it installed, and then we can get some data over the next couple months and see what we're at, and then we can talk about it at budget time.
Can you get us that information first?
Yep.
Before I have to say yes or no?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to know the Burlington stats
Yep.
to see if it's.
I will come back with that next meeting.
Great.
Okay, awesome.
Have Sergeant Dunham come back with those stats because I will be gone. But we'll get them for you.
Okay, with that in mind, I'm assuming that we will table this until next meeting. Is that agreeable with council?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Number 5, consider entering into a professional service agreement with Snyder and Associates for the Long Meadow Water Main Replacement Project.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support. Discussion?
Is that the Pat Klein Park water main?
Sorry?
Is
Yeah,
that
Pat
involved the
Klein.
Pat Klein water
Yes.
main?
Yes.
Because it's called Pat Klein last time, and now it's Long Meadow. I just make sure that we're on the same page.
Oh, yes, yeah,
Thank you.
with an EIN.
Any further discussion? If not, I'll call for a call vote on this one.
Johnson?
Aye.
Lees?
Aye.
Young?
Aye.
Covert?
Aye.
Crowner?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Number 6, consider city logo update designs. I don't need a motion for this, so.
This is an item we talked about some time back. Kelly has made some updates, changes based on your input at the last meeting. I thought we'd bring it back forward for discussion. And I guess the concept behind the WV is, or the WV with the West Burlington in the circle, is having a base or a basic logo that has the ability to be used in different situations. You can take that one and then use it in, in the parks. You can use it for 4th of July. You can use it for the fire department. You can, and adding different components to it. So starting with the base and then moving
Brad,
out from there.
Can
And
you
then
get this up on the board for,
on
that's from the
on
agenda. It's in the, yes.
on page 2 and 3 are some various logos, alternates that were discussed at that last meeting as well. So I wanted to bring that forward for discussion, and then Councilman Crown, did you want to hand out that other one, or before we discuss, or you want to start with these?
I just want to say in general, I like having something that can be added to, so everybody's using the same logo and you can add underneath it Public Works or 4th of July or something like that. So I do like having a more basic structure, no matter which one it is, something that can easily be added to. And then my only other comment is on the ones that are in the square. I think if you go to use that anywhere, you're going to lose that West Burlington, Iowa. It's going to be too small, like if you try to put that on a shirt or anything. So to me, you're either going to have to take that out of the square and make it bigger, or do away with that in most use cases. Unless it's on the web or a printed piece, I don't think you'll be able to actually see it.
I like the circle versions personally myself, but yeah, there's multiple ways that you can incorporate it.
I kind of like the one that has the tree in the West Burlington. It's curved, so it sort of has that circle information on it there in the upper left. And certainly, we could put something in place of the tree at different times, whether it's a fire logo or whether it's, 4th of July. Maybe the sun in some cases. I mean, my favorite one is obviously the one that's down in the bottom right-hand corner, but then that's a little bit old-fashioned, so I don't mind that.
What's wrong with old fashioned?
Oh, I don't know. I want something that a lot of people will like, is what I would
Kelly
like.
got some input from Tara too, and that would be extremely hard. I mean, easy to put on a sign, but difficult to embroider or put on any of our logo material. But yeah, the WB, I mean, can be incorporated into any one of those concepts.
Brad, go to page 1.
Page 1 again? Okay.
I like the one in the right lower corner. It's got our trail and the sun, and then you can change that out for 4th of July or what have you.
That's I guess what I think the beauty of it is you've got the basic WB and you can have just the West Burlington on there for, if you need it for a pin or whatever, you can have the sun and the trail. You can add a 4th of July concept in there, but it's really being able to have flexibility with it in what you're doing.
Well, I think you need the name West Burlington, because WB could be West Branch.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
A little town.
My opinion would be the one.
I think I agree with what Teresa said, but I'll stop by Friday and point to the one I'm intending, because I can't see them at the moment. But I like the flexibility, simple logo, and I like the ones that include the trail and the yellow, which is counter simple, but the yellow sunset, because we have several concrete signs around town that are already out and up, and that is what we have. But I think they also lend themselves to some flexibility in that you can add public works to them, or fireworks, or the fire department, or other specific committees. But I will defer to Tara and Kelly on what really works when you try and make these designs happen. But there's 3 things I would like to see, and there's 1, the WB, 2, the words West Burlington, and 3, a sunset. That's all.
I have 2 of equal likings. The WB with the sunrise and the green, the trail. And then on page 3, the West Burlington with the bottom right-hand corner. Nope, no. that
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
the bottom right-hand corner. I like that. So.
There you go.
I'm really not a huge fan of any of these in particular. I think some of them are starting down a right concept, but like the one, Therese, I think you pointed out, I like the overall design of it, but I mean, it looks like some clip art or something taken and not like an actual logo designer did it. The way that the path overacts with the WB and things like that, they just need touched up a little bit to be a little more professional. Same thing, making a decision on the path kind of going out and the sun kind of going out and how that would be if you try to embroider it, things like that, that should be cleaned up. But I think that as a concept would work. It just needs kind of touched up a little.
Yeah, I think all of these probably would need some tweaking in order to make it into something that's printable and
Yeah.
digitizing it and all that, so.
We could use that original individual or somebody else to put it in all those formats and give us a final thing. But Kelly's done a lot of good work
Oh,
with
with the touch.
the tools that she's got
That's
available.
embroidered.
Yeah.
Andy, I passed yours, you have your copies down there, don't you?
Yeah, and that's, just again, a basic concept of, I know we talked about the native grasses and the WB, but then you'd go underneath it with 4th of July or Public Works or whatever underneath, or just West Burlington underneath. But the same thing, just something simple that doesn't get too busy. But in the end, I don't care a whole lot. There's only like one city logo that anyone ever remembers, and it's I Love New York, so I'm not really getting hung up on our logo.
I like the concept, though. I don't know if they have an opportunity to see it, but
I might add one more. I am really glad that we got something that doesn't run into the other one. Like a B over a W, and then I guess I like the old-fashioned printing that you can actually tell and see. You don't have to study it. So, okay, thank you.
Ringo?
You know, I'm like you guys, I like the old-fashioned one on page 2, the lower right-hand corner. But that's the one I like the most, but again, I'm like Andy, I'm not gonna be hung up on it, so.
Which lower right-hand corner, the first page or the second page?
Second page,
Second page?
the traditional one, I guess.
We just need to put a covered wagon on it. We're all set to go.
There you go.
And on that one, you could put 4th of July underneath it or anything else. You know, you could use.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna be able to put it on that shirt that you have on there very well.
Well, his shirt's
Why?
embroidered.
I think the
Wouldn't they
grass
cost
is the
that?
problem.
could.
It's not the,
We were at, Kelly asked Tara, I mean, how easy it would be to replicate that and put it on there, and it'd be a lot more difficult than these other ones here, complicated to do. With the grass and et cetera, all in there.
But it could be touched up to work, though.
I'm not saying it couldn't, but
Yeah.
it'd just be more difficult and challenging to put on this. Now, you put it on the sign or on the website, or, I mean, that's easy. You only got a month.
You know what else, looking at it a little bit, what else is strange is that the West Burlington follows the curve and the Iowa doesn't.
oh, on the top one.
That's, unfortunately, had to design 100 million logos in my life, so when I start looking at those things, I see, like, those two should be the same.
Well, everybody's had an opportunity to at least present their information, so let's move on with what we,
Did you like the one that Andy passed out?
Sounds to me like people like that bottom right one. I think maybe different versions of that, or cleaning up so the grass doesn't overflow with the WB. That's gonna be remain an embroidery issue.
yeah.
Here's, well, yeah, we can take it and go from there. Appreciate the input.
Thank you. So then we have our last item for our agenda. We are discussing an ordinance to establish a dog and cat licensing.
I brought this up since we had that one affair with the dog earlier this year. And it, you know, way back when I was a child, 100 years ago, and we had outside bathrooms, we had 2 pets, and I had to come up, I had to come up and get the dogs with a tag, a city tag, so they knew who they were. We had to show proof of vaccination, and then we got a tag. Every year, we had to go up and buy one. And the city is, in our ordinance, we require the animals to have a rabies shot. Well, people have gotten really lackadaisical about taking care of their pets. I mean, I'm putting my grandchild in her car seat so she can go home, and I got nudged, and I'm like, when I look around, and here's some strange dog, and I'm like, where'd you come from? I mean, he had a collar, but you couldn't get close to him because then he would growl. And I'm like, and that's not the first time. I have everybody's dogs and everybody's cats in my yard or even around the neighborhood. It's just kind of gotten out of control. And I think some of us pet owners have just gotten lackadaisical and not keeping them leashed or fenced or anything of that nature. And there's a lot more animals that are out running around loose, and some will lose their collar. So you don't, and you can't get close to them and get a microchip or anything like that. And I think we need to start cracking down, and because I know people, I've walked my girls, they're Scotties, cute little things they are, Stella and Olivia, and I'm going down Leffler Street, and all of a sudden I've got a German Shepherd coming at me and the girls, and it's like, do I save the girls or I save my face? I mean, and the guy was saying, oh, he's all right, he's friendly. Well, the hair is standing up on the back of its neck, and it's going to attack me or the girls, and I'm like, no, it's not. And I just think that we need to start making people more responsible for their pets. And we need to start licensing them and make sure that they have their rabies vaccination. And I had Kelly pull up the ordinances and stuff, and she went to the league meeting, and they found this one in Clinton for licensing animals in Clinton. And I talked to Kelly about it, and, you know, there are, if you guys have read it, also like for services for the charges, that we could put a senior citizen for like $5 for a tag, or give them a free tag. But, I mean, I just think it's irresponsible for some pet owners to not be responsible for their animals. And I think it would make it easier for Jess if they had a tag to track them down to see where they belong. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
So the fees with that Clinton one, is that yearly or is that a one-time thing?
It'd be annually.
That's annual. And why would we do that annually? I can see the idea of getting something done, but why do we have to continually charge them year after year after year for it?
Well, with pets, when you get, when I got my new girl, Olivia, she could only have a 1-year rabies shot that lasted just 1 year because she was just a puppy. And then that makes you go back before that date expires if you want to get a 3-year. If you wait and it expires, you get a 1 year. And that's, you keep track of the rabies vaccination to make sure that they're current on their rabies vaccination.
Also, there'll be certain fees associated with the police department doing some more with our animal control, I would think, too.
I kind of break this down into two things, and one's the rabies tag side, and one's the licensing. And I'm in favor of doing some piece of code that requires the vaccination tag to be worn, or the microchip that has the data. It's actually state code, because I got to looking up what the state requires, and they actually require it. So I feel we should follow state code, and that actually has it at 6 months of age, it's not 4. So I'm not sure where the 4 came from, but I would follow state code on that. And then when it comes to the licensing part, I'm not in favor of that. I don't feel that I should have to come up here and pay annually to have my dog. However, I thought Ringo had a great idea about having a system where people could register for free online their animal and upload a photo of it. And so if there was a lost animal or something and that we found, we'd have a kind of a database of animals that cost nothing. It was easy to do, that people could voluntarily sign up for. I'm not sure if you wanted the voluntary part, I'm adding that. But that would be what I would like to do instead. But I'm not in favor of everybody having to come up and pay every year for their animal.
Teresa, I understand the frustration on the dogs that are loose, because I felt the same thing when I was in a squad car and we encountered the dogs. Most of the time it was a dog that we were not able to locate the owner because at that time when I was on, we didn't have the chip locator. And if we did able to use the shelter if someone's on duty, you know, we could take the animal there. It was frustrating, but at the same time, so I was thinking, and I was talking to Chief Logan, that I didn't like the annual fees either. I think that's discouraging to people. I mean, I've always had canine. I've had a dog my whole life. My wife and I love dogs, and of course, we have barn out. People drop their cats off, and my wife's gone there and had them neutered and spaded, you know, the cats, and they've been thrown out next to our barn because we have 25 acres on the west side of town. I think it's two things here. If we can encourage people like on bicycles, and I've talked to Chief Logan, and he thinks they may be able to come up with a program where people will be able to come in or register online. They give up you can give information out the vet, if it's chipped, the color of the dog, the breed of the dog. Most of the times it's going to be the dogs. That way, if an officer encounters that animal that's running loose, then they can go through and go into category, and maybe they can identify the owner and get that animal back to the owner quickly. there are some people that, no matter what we do, they're never, ever going to take care of their animals the right way. Like, and what we'll find is most of the time it's the responsible animal owners that will do everything according to the law because it's the law. But I just feel uncomfortable on this one, that maybe we can do something different to encourage people to register their canines and their pets this way. I don't want to put a burden on anybody, knowing that and then you you also have loopholes in it. Like, I was reading one where they can have the 30 days, the dog can be here if it's only passing through. Believe me, some people won't tell the truth, and they'll say, if they're caught with a dog, and I can't imagine our officers going out and trying to find people who did not register their animals, but it's going to happen. They're going to come across maybe a criminal activity that's involved with a loose canine, and most of the time it is the loose canines. And then you're going to have somebody that's saying, well, it's only been here 30 days, or I've only passing through. It makes it difficult to enforce the law, and it puts a burden, I think, an unnecessary burden on the officers trying to enforce them. There's just too many loopholes sometimes. But Chief, do you think you can come up with something that would be sort of like our bicycle program where people can do this? And
we can see what we can find out. Yeah. We issued a citation today for a dog at large over there on Swan Street. So when somebody called in and said that there's a dog running loose, and Officer Chipperez found it and issued a citation to the owner. So
how did you find the owner?
Where the dog was, they knew where it came from and let us know. So we took the dog home, and the owner said yes, it is theirs, and there's a repeated offense, so we issued a citation.
yeah, I didn't like the part either on a dangerous dog or cat. I don't think that a dangerous dog or cat should even be in our city. Like, when you go out with your grandchildren, you should be able to walk on the streets of the city of West Burlington with your pet, with the leash, and not have to feel threatened like what happened earlier this year about having an animal come and attack you, your children, your grandchildren, or your pet. I don't like that at all, and it just makes our community safer if there's a way we can control it, and I think doing it, charging for animal at large and stuff like that, and if someone comes in and they're going to pay a fee for it, I know there's not much we can do right now based on our current law, but I just don't like that. I don't like having an animal that's going to ruin everybody.
And that would be one more reason why you should have an ordinance of some sort, okay? Because, like the dog that we had the case with, I'm for some kind of an ordinance, but there's another problem with this that I don't quite comprehend, and nowhere here that I read is there if you don't tag the dog, or you don't, what's the problem, or what's the fine? There's none. And as far as this,
Well, there's a penalty in chapter 55. This is just a section of 55, so wouldn't it be a citation, Jesse? Wouldn't it just be a citation if they violated parts of that
we can make it
chapter?
either a criminal citation or like a municipal infraction.
And eventually, if the person refuses to register that animal, then what's the next step? Even if you get fined, do we take possession of that animal, and then it's our then, they have to take it to the shelter, and then we take responsibility of that animal until then? I mean, we would do it for a dangerous dog, but if it's not a dangerous dog, and, just somebody they register, hey, I don't believe in that, what is our final step in that? How are we going to enforce that?
Once again, we need that part in here that says, the dog, or that the owner is going to get fined $500 or $100 or whatever it is. It doesn't need to go to another code. It needs to be stated here, in my opinion. If you're on a stop sign, you can pretty much know what that sign or ticket's going to be. If you don't wear a seatbelt, you know what the ticket's going to be. If you don't have insurance, you know what the ticket's going to be. If you're not doing this with your dog, you should know what it's going to be, in my opinion.
So I think with that, can we send this back to, well, maybe Jesse, to look at what we could put together for the city? Staying within, of course, as Andy says, what the state says that we should be doing.
I mean, 4 months is within, so I mean, we could be stricter, but, I mean, I'm not in favor of the second part of this, so I don't want to move that forward myself.
The what?
Any of the licensing.
How about a voluntary licensing through like an online process so that we know where the dog is and who the owners are based upon a picture and so forth?
I think that makes sense.
I would prefer that.
The thing with the license, the tag though, is to make sure the owner is current on their rabies vaccination. Because you can leave a rabies tag on for a long time because there's no date on it, just the number.
I don't, some of the honest ones are the ones that's gonna come up here and register it. The ones that really don't care, or want it protected. The ones that don't is the ones that really do need to be licensed. Because that's the ones that the dog is probably gonna get loose, or it's gonna be a little bit more dangerous.
Or not have the rabies shot, so.
I am absolutely not for doing it voluntarily. We either need to be, it needs to be something that we all do, because that's the ones that you need, that probably is going to have the bad dog.
John, wouldn't that be like two different things? So one thing is saying in our city, any animal has to have a rabies shot in our city. That doesn't mean you have to register that animal. It means that can be a separate item than having an annual fee of registering. I'm just saying, trying to think open-minded on this, is that, okay, if we have a canine, if you're required, if you're going to have an animal, like a dog, you're going to have a rabies shot in our city. That dog has got to have a rabies shot. Well, you're not going to, I mean, even if they don't going to have a rabies shot, that doesn't mean they're going to get a rabies shot, and if somebody's not going to, that doesn't take care of it, they're going to disobey the law. It doesn't mean they're going to do that. They're going to get the rabies shot and register. If they're not going to give the rabies shot, they're not going to register that dog. That's not going to force them to do that. I'm just saying is that
But then,
if we have a
there
law,
should be something that if you have that, if you find out that you have that dog, then you get a ticket.
Yeah.
Same as, you're trying to tell me that a dog that could bite or kill somebody, or another dog, that's happened here in West Burlington.
yes.
We shouldn't register it, but we gotta register a chicken? That's gonna cluck you to death? No, I don't think so.
But no, I said
No, I'm seriously.
I am serious too. I'm saying there's a difference here between having to require a dog to have a rabies shot in the city than forcing them to also register the dog. Let's just say if you have a law that stands that says, okay, any canine in the city of West Burlington has to have a rabies shot.
Which is current code, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just the tag that
Yeah.
is not code.
Yeah, you're just saying now we're gonna require them to show a tag when they should have it, even if not, right now, they still should have the rabies shot, right?
John, this section 55, we're adding this section to chapter 55, and in chapter 55, 19, it says violations of this chapter, which would mean any of it, would be a simple misdemeanor. So the penalty would be a simple misdemeanor. This is just going into that chapter. It would just be
So
going
we
into that
need to
chapter.
put that on.
No,
No,
this is
it's at the bottom of
one
that
section
chapter.
of that entire chapter. There's multiple sections. So
Any violation of any part of that chapter
Yeah, right.
would be that.
The same as like a dog at large.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, if you have a dog at large, you don't have to have the dog registered, but if the dog is at large, you still can get a fine.
It
So it
just
means you
wasn't
don't-
in here, that I could see that.
Yeah,
What
and
that
where,
was.
like, if a dog is required to have a rabies shot, you don't have to register it, if the officer's investigating the dog at large and then finds out it doesn't have a rabies shot, they can get a citation for that then too, even though the dog's not registered.
Do we have to have a fee? If we're gonna force a registration, do we have to have a fee?
I think so.
You don't have to have a fee, but there is time, effort that's going into doing this. Our officers do it now. We don't have an animal control officer. Burlington has an animal control officer, but there will be
And I'm assuming-
admin time as well.
Just buying the tags is gonna be an expense, but
Wouldn't have to be a very much.
Andy, I would be okay with a one-time fee of something so that it can get all down in paperwork and all that in order, but every year, I don't like that. I don't like that every year fee.
There's a broader topic too with cats. There's the spay, neuter, and release program that we're going to have some further discussion with, but that's going to have to be both communities having that discussion and implementing something most likely that's on the same page. And that's a broader problem that we have as well. So that's another topic for another day, but just a reminder that that's another outstanding issue that we have. I don't know that I have a consensus on what to bring forward. Do you want to table the matter and think about it, or do you want to, what would you like to?
I've got one last question, Your Honor, is we have more people here than we normally do. And most of these people are West Burlington residents. Can we ask them, someone to give their opinion?
If they would like to.
Does anybody want to come up to the speaker and have a discussion?
Nope.
Maybe they're not pet owners, I don't know.
So my question would be, if you did charge a fee, where would that fee go?
It'd probably go through our animal control through the police department, I suspect.
Okay, we do have animal.
Well, the officers just take care of it. We don't have a separate department with that.
We have a separate budget.
What is the fee?
That's what we were talking here, yeah.
I have lived in towns where they did have that sort of
Annual fee.
for it.
If you have a dog or cat and it's altered and either microchipped, it's $10. If you have a dog or cat that's unaltered and no microchip, it's $20. Dog or cat with a microchip only is $15. Dog or cat altered only is $15. So we're trying to steer people to preventing pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies in cats and dogs by giving you a cheaper rate by getting them altered and microchipped.
So there is no ordinance for outdoor cats in West Burlington to be spayed or neutered? There is nothing like that?
we have a leash law. They're supposed to be on leash, but there's so
Even
many.
cats?
Yeah, any,
But wait, there's a number of unowned.
under the control of the
Cats that are
owner.
just roaming, it's just, it's getting worse every year. And there's a number of communities that have adopted spay neuter release programs, but there's a cost associated with that. A significant cost for that program, but they typically try to work with local vets, Humane Society, obviously, and come up with a program. But it's not an overnight solution either.
I like the idea of you guys saying the free registration. I hear you saying it does take time. I get that, building databases, building, manning any of that, buying pieces of equipment is needed. I would suggest us continue doing that. Do it, maybe approach it doing it free, give a service back to your people, to your city people, and that way it can be more enticing to actually get them registered, to actually get them to show up. Because, like you talked about, I don't remember who said it, or Andy said, well, the people who don't going to show up is going to be probably the people that's in the room, right? Let's really be honest.
I agree with
It's only
that.
the people that's going to show up. I have a lot of animals. I love all my animals. I register them. But who are you going to hurt when you do that? You're hurting me. You're hurting the people who care, not the people that are out there. So you're really hurting me, so you're enticing me. Why do I want to live in West Burlington in that aspect? I love my pets, but why do I want to live in a community that requires me to pay every year $15 to have a pet when I'm already paying my vet $150 just to take them there to get my shots every year, and then everything else I gotta do, you talk about flea, heartburn, that's huge, that's a lot of money I'm spending.
It's about $650 a year per dog.
I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a snake. They have very quickly. The snake's the easy part, I feed them a mouse once a week. But I understand that it's expensive, but add another price onto it. Owning a dog with good, joyous thing for people who bring us good joy, that doesn't sound like a good thing to me.
Thank you.
So I'm curious, I saw this schedule earlier where indicated a dangerous dog would be $100. And I'm curious if that chapter goes into what the definition of a dangerous dog is, and if you guys are considering trying to limit the kind of breeds that would be allowed in town. Would certain breeds all of a sudden be more expensive because now you're considering that to be a dangerous breed?
We've never tried to name a breed.
We just have a
We've had
dangerous.
people bit by little teeny tiny Yorkies that have done a lot of damage. So, yeah, we've never been.
But we do have a dangerous
supposed
and
to-
vicious animal ordinance that's currently in place.
So that definition there and that additional fee would be related to that ordinance?
Yes.
We're not breed specific.
No, we're not breed specific, but we do have a dangerous and vicious animal.
You had a question?
Yeah. So let's take the bad owner who doesn't care about his dog. Let's remember, he gets picked up, he just gets the citation and the fee, or is it a warrant?
Citation, got cited into court.
Okay, and then what happens
The-
when he gets them back? He's like, I'm not paying it, lets the dog out again. Do they eventually get taken away?
Well, for that, if he doesn't show up for court, he would have a warrant out for his arrest for rabies or for dog at large. So he would get sent to jail.
And then they eventually this animal gets taken away and they're.
And then there's a fee at the, animal shelter that they would have to pay a fee to get your animal back that way also.
So, the person who has cats who never lets them outside, and they don't register them, but Karen down the street calls and complains, they're like, well, I know they have 2 cats, is that kind of how it goes too?
That's the discussion they're having.
I've got 10 cats in my neighborhood and I can't find an owner for any of them. Would you like one or two? Oh, they're really
The
cute.
boys would.
Hey, we got,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
So one thing I like to add is like some homeless people, I don't know exactly, but like, I just from my Walmart now and then. If you guys did the fee, people who had pets, like the homeless people, so they won't be able to pay, but what they want to try, they actually let the pet go. I want to put that thought there.
Thank you.
How far away do you have to be from a local school to have your dog off the leash?
The way the city's set up, people aren't supposed to let their dogs run free in the city. You're supposed to be able to walk on any sidewalk and not be,
Other than on
afraid
your,
of having a dog.
other than on your own property.
Yeah, other than on your own property, yeah.
So right now, there is no certain feet or certain distance from a school. But it brings up a very good point.
Yeah.
Because about a year ago, people, I was riding my bike to go and put it up, and these people who walked in with the dog and it was off the leash and it came up in the back.
It's supposed to be on a leash, and I think it has a 10-foot, is it like a 10-foot lead?
So then what happened afterwards?
Because my mom, she took it on and
Appreciate the public's comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's put this on discussion for the next council meeting again.
And
Considering.
maybe another thing is that the annual fee we ask, we can put that in a fund for the Humane Society that they can provide that dog that got picked up, that didn't have show a rabies vaccination, that they mandate that we pay for a rabies shot or something of that nature. Maybe we can use that money
Yeah, that was my question.
to accumulate enough money to spay these cats and then release them again. So that, I mean, we won't have to worry about mousers in our neighborhood, because we'll have a spayed cat.
Yeah.
I think currently our fees right now that we pay the animal, the
Humane
Humane
Society.
Society now wouldn't even be touched by these fees, fortunately.
Well, we may be able to get in touch and work with a vet at the Humane Society. I know Paws does that. They do spade once a month, like on a third Wednesday or something like that.
I still think we're good without it. I don't need to be charged for my dog.
Greg, do you have enough information that you can?
Absolutely not. I don't know that there is a consensus. It doesn't sound like anybody objects to do a voluntary program, so, at least to start with. So it doesn't sound like there's any objection there. Rabies tags are already required, or rabies are required, not to necessarily be worn. Do we have any objection to having that included in the ordinance? You've got the tags anyways, if you're responsible dog owner, that they
Put the tag
are
on.
required to have that on, and, you know, if they don't, there's maybe an additional fee attached to that. I mean, that would save us, and likely the individual that got bit some time, effort in tracking, either having to track down the owner or trying to figure out if they've had a rabies shot, or be able to contact the vet. I mean, is there any
'cause
objection to including that in the
Well,
ordinance, at least having those tags showing on the
That
dog?
is in our ordinance now, but there's no
Or
way to enforce
microchip,
it.
or microchip.
I mean, I can leave the rabies tag on my girls, because there's no date, there's no expiration date on the rabies tag, it's just a serial number.
Right.
I don't think it is in our ordinance now.
The what?
From all goods,
tag.
the tag is numbered, but there's no expiration date on the tag itself, so they could wear that tag for 6 years, and you wouldn't know that it was expired 3 years ago.
I understand what you're saying, I just don't, our current ordinance does not require the tag to be there, but state law does.
To be
I think
on
it
the dog?
does.
Yes.
Well, then we ought to.
Got it
include
up right here, doesn't it?
Yeah, then we'd have to,
Right.
we can add that.
But if it's a free registration, you should be able to then put a tag on your pet. So that they could be you can locate them, and then you can get the information on the pet from the vet too. Because the vet's tag on the rabies shot is there, that you know the name of the pet by registration, free registration with the city, so we can make that connection.
It currently kind of implies that it should be on the animal, like this, probably like the state code does.
We can make it more specific.
Well, Greg, I would prefer being mandatory than just a volunteer, because I don't think the volunteer, you're gonna get the problem ones.
No, that'd just be more of a tool for the police department. If you're on there and you're registered and we can't find the dog, before we take it to the Humane Society, if it's on the list, there's a picture of it, address, location, we can take it over there, and then, the Humane Society is constantly full. So that would just be a tool for us to be able to utilize that would save everybody a little time and money. Go on there, voluntary register,
It
put
seems
a
like
picture on there.
a huge system and expense for not a real problem that happens every day. I mean, we've had 1, 2 issues. I mean, we've got a ton of cats that nobody owns that roam, and that's a whole different problem that this won't even touch. And we've already got code in place for animal at large and issues like that. We've got code for if they're not vaccinated. So I don't know why we need this whole system underneath it for the people that are doing it right, so they have to go and pay. It seems like we're solving a problem that's not there and making us pay for it.
I feel the same way with chickens. But there's not a problem with the chickens.
The problem is our code with the chickens. Our code says no chickens. That's the only reason we have to continue to vote on that, because you won't pass code.
Which, Greg, I hope you get this up here before the end of the year.
We're gonna wait till January. Yeah, probably.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is something that we ought to go ahead and bring back some ideas, and we'll go through it again. Because I don't see that we've come to a real consensus, so.
Melanie, you have any thoughts?
Melanie is disconnected.
She has left me.
Her phone died. So. I don't know that I've got a whole lot to work with, but anybody that wants to work on it?
I will try to work with Chief Logan, and maybe we can talk to some IT people and develop something, just as something to start with, and go from there.
All right. Thank you.
But we won't bring it back necessarily at the next meeting.
No.
When it's ready, we'll bring it back.
All right.
Okay.
With that, we covered our last item on the agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.